For decades, Siskin Children's Institute here in Chattanooga has served children with special needs and their families. The story began 75 years ago when two brothers, both businessmen, established the Mose and Garrison Siskin Memorial Foundation. Don Mueller is president and CEO of Siskin Children's Institute. Emily Bylund is a parent whose child attends Siskin. Don, Emily, thanks for joining us.
We're so glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
Don, tell us more about this milestone for Siskin.
Well, Siskin Children's Institute is celebrating the 75th anniversary. We were founded by Mose and Garrison Siskin 75 years ago, and we have served thousands of children over the years, and we're so happy to celebrate it.
Talk more about the services that Siskin provides.
Really, we take care of kids with developmental disabilities, and our goal is to get to these kids as soon as possible. We employ 3 developmental pediatricians. There are only 11 in the entire state of Tennessee, so we're very fortunate to have this unique resource here in Chattanooga. But we do about 60,000 visits a year. About 5,000 of those are diagnostic visits to help diagnose kids with special needs or have developmental delay. The sooner we get to these kids, the better. And then we offer a whole range of therapies. ABA, we do about 30,000 visits a year, and those are all the way from North Georgia up towards Nashville. The majority of our services here in Chattanooga. We also provide services for occupational therapy, speech language pathology. We just added physical therapy back, so we're super excited about that. We've got a feeding clinic for kids that have extreme food selectivity. So lots of great services here, thanks to Mose and Garrison.
What are some of the achievements that the Institute has delivered over the years? We're talking multiple generations.
The family has been involved for more than 75 years, and there are many milestones that have happened during that time period. One of the things I'm most proud of right now is we have reduced our wait list for developmental diagnosis from, there were 1,700 children on the list just a year ago, and we're down to under 600 or so right now. And the importance of that is that kids can now get in very soon for appointments. We serve kids from more than 7 states, so they're traveling a far way to get here, and that just shows you that these services are very unique and they just don't exist in other places.
And Emily, tell us more about your story, your family's story with Siskin.
Our family experienced the inability to access services and even diagnostic services. My daughter was 2.5 when she was evaluated by the county that we lived in Northern Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C., and they deemed her as falling under the autism criteria for disability resources within the school, but we still needed a medical diagnosis for her. So we went to try and get a diagnosis, and we were told it would be 18 to 24 months to get her in to see anybody. So we shopped around a little bit, found a place called Kennedy Krieger up in Baltimore, Maryland. And then after that, we realized it was going to be years of wait lists to get her to see anybody for any kind of therapies. And we were looking to move anyway. And we found Siskin. So we moved to Chattanooga for Siskin, for our daughter to attend Siskin. At the time, they still had the Early Learning Center, and so she was attending the preschool there, and she received feeding therapy, she received ABA, speech, and OT, and really, truly, our family credits her progress to the work that was done in Siskin.
Talk more about how she's doing now and how she's still going to Siskin.
She is still attending Siskin for occupational therapy. It's just kind of the therapies of helping kids with everyday activities. So tying your shoes, hygiene things, just getting through the day. So that's something she's still doing now. She's 8. And when we started, she was hardly talking, and she would eat about 5 things. And I've talked about this previously with other Siskin opportunities with their Star Night. She really struggled with eating, and it was a big, big problem for her. And feeding therapy changed her life. We went from a child who couldn't communicate that she was hungry, that she didn't understand that she was hungry, to a child that she still has a very limited diet, but it's much more expanded, and she eats more food and has her way of communicating with us. And that was really what we needed from Siskin, was ways for her to communicate. And for her, that's verbal. Sometimes it's not verbal, but we worked with Siskin to find ways that worked best for her.
Is that part of what makes Siskin unique for you and part of why you moved here for that experience?
Yes, definitely. Having the opportunity to meet our daughter where she is and what her needs are, instead of moving the goalposts constantly and saying this child needs to get here or get here. Siskin really met her where she was and said, okay, this is what this child needs at this point in time, and we're going to help her with what she needs and help her progress at whatever her pace is and get her wherever she needs to be. And she actually started kindergarten at one of the local public schools and is mainstreamed with her peers.
And Don, Don, you hear stories like this all the time.
This is a great story because what this shows is the value of early intervention. And when children are very small, their brains are developing very rapidly. And as you get older, your brain physically solidifies. It's called neuroplasticity. So it's why it's really hard to learn a foreign language when you get older, but when you're young, it's very easy. To get these children early and provide them the therapies they need, you can make the maximal amount of progress. So had this child not received these services, they would have been living a life of disability that has multiple layers of support. Now we have a child that's in typical school and doing very well.
Talk more about future plans at Siskin.
We are in a strategic planning phase right now and looking at options for things we potentially can add. We have a blessing from Mose and Garrison. They realized that we would not have significant resources to help pay for what we're doing. So we do have an endowment, but chipping away at that endowment at a much too fast rate. So we are relying on the community to help support us. And our goal is to become long-term financially sustainable. So what that means is we will see as many kids as we can afford to see. So fundraising is a big part of what we're trying to do now, but we're looking to add some additional services. So we potentially could add a toileting program to teach these children how to use the bathroom at early ages when many of these children struggle with that. We're looking at adding potentially brief behavioral intervention, which helps kids control their emotions when they're very young and don't have the tools to communicate. We're also looking at adding some new technologies that can help diagnose kids even younger. So we're really going out there. We're looking at places like the Marcus Autism Center or Kennedy Krieger to learn from them to try to bring as many services as we can to this community.
And then you have something coming up.
We do. We have Star Night, which is Chattanooga's premier gala event. It's our milestone anniversary at celebrating the 75 years, so we're calling it our Diamond Celebration. We've got a great committee of over 30 dedicated community volunteers that are helping us to achieve this, and we are selling sponsorships now, and we're super excited. The event is on August 23rd.
And for people who want more information about everything at Siskin, including the gala, where can people go online?
Siskin.org.
All right. Don, Emily, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.